Hello again, it's me. It's Wednesday, the 15th of December. I need to shave. Couple things to share today. So, I pay attention to the numbers and the likes like everybody else, but that's not why I do this, and I don't. It's interesting to me. I listen to other channels. What I'm getting at is that my subscriber count just went over 26,000. And I always celebrate that. I always bring it up. And I celebrate it because it's like, well, we celebrate those milestones. And I find it interesting because I don't ask anyone to subscribe. And I see on almost all other channels, people are asking people to subscribe, and I don't know why they do it. They say you'll help my channel if you subscribe. How? I don't understand that. I do and I don't. You know what I mean? And then I'm glad that I'm so old that I don't count likes. I see it. It's nice. But that's not what I'm doing here. Man, that's weird to me. But I'm old. You know, I come from an older mindset. So the way that technology has infested and infected, that's why I see it. The way that we assess life is just, some of it is very strange to me. I do appreciate that part of the ongoing subscriber count is a reflection of the fact that new people or people are coming and going all the time. And a big part of it is that people are seeing the channel for the first time all of the time. I mean, there's a lot of people on this planet and a lot of people on the internet. And so me having, between 12 to 1,400 viewers every video, that's nothing when you're doing numbers. And so 25,000, 26,000 subscribers, when you see some, comparatively, it's like it's nothing. But it's really cool because, to me, it's cool because I'm just being myself. I'm not pandering to an audience, and I refuse to. I do not soften my edges for people. I say what is on my mind. And it's valid. My voice is as valid as anyone else's, and so here I am. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching. And I'm not having anyone come over here and tell me how to run my business, period. No one. Because in person, that conversation would go well. People get away with stuff when they can't talk to me face to face. If you talk to me face to face, and I'll say it real clear, you people that want to be assholes, I deal with it. People take lessons. Okay, can I give you an ego comment right quick? People literally take lessons watching me interact with others. Especially people who have attitude problems, or people who are not well, or people who are trying to be negative, or people who think they're being funny, but in a shitty way. Step to me. So, and I'm not saying I don't want you to. Leave me the fuck alone is what I'm saying, because I see you with your bullshit 5 miles away, okay? And there's no need for it. Be kind. Be a nice person. We don't need meanness and bullshit and adolescent crap. It's really sad to me. One of the things that does irk me is how it seems the average adult is better at telling a joke to deal with stress rather than actually problem solve. That's sad to me, and that's the way the world looks to me. That's how a lot of adults look to me. It's like, you can't figure out shit? Okay, is that enough? Well, it's me being real here on my channel. 26,000 plus viewers now. You know, you subscribe because you want to. I didn't ask you to do shit. So, Rebecca, I'm going to say your name, not your first name, but Rebecca is someone I've never met. So very kind to me. Have sent me a lot of stuff. If I'm getting this right, these are from you, Rebecca. Over the years, you've sent me some very nice gifts and music, and I've never met you. And yesterday I went down to Grapefruit because they informed me that you had gotten me a gift certificate there. And when I went to get something yesterday, Simon Joyner, who we had a conversation about the conversation he had with you on the phone. It's very touching because he was touched, is what I'm saying. It says, wow, that's the way to live. I know. This is the way to live. Okay. So, Rebecca, what I bought with the gift certificate is this album. Calvin Keys, the reissue of Proceed with Caution, the Black Jazz label, which came out in the 70s. They've reissued all their titles. I think all the titles so far. I was lucky. I wasn't expecting this, and I didn't ask for it. I just said I wanted a copy of this, but I got the limited edition version. And this is a very good album. It's better than his first album, Shawnee, on the Black Jazz label. He's got several albums. The other thing I like to share is that Calvin Keys is originally from Omaha, Nebraska. And I played music with Calvin. I've jammed with him. And there's a recording of it, but I must say that, you know, if I heard the recording, I'd probably be embarrassed because I was doing pretty good until they called off Killer Joe by Quincy Jones. Now, I don't read music. And I had never played the song before, so I had to fake trying to figure out that middle section. Now, what was interesting is there was another musician there, Shaba Kha, pianist, who was trying to shout at me the changes. And I played with Shaba before, and I've always told people, I guess they don't believe me, I don't know how to read music. So when he shouted the changes, it was like Greek. I didn't know what he was saying. It didn't help at all. But I played with Calvin, and apparently did well enough that he didn't diss me when we were done, you know. Still wouldn't mind hearing the recording. I think I know someone who has it. But I got that with the gift certificates. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Thank you. While I was there, I'm trying to hold down this month because I really have got to, you know, I'm on a, like everyone else, not everyone, but like most of us, I'm on a limited income. And I have some house repairs that I've got to get done here. So I have to save for it, you know. I applied for home improvement through the government years ago. I've heard nothing. You know, from my perspective, you know, normal is gone. Normal was never good anyway. But a lot of things that people assume are still working and in place, they're not. It's a sham. It's a shambles. You know, how much rebuilding has happened down in New Orleans? Look at Kentucky. What do you think that's going to be looking like in 5 years? Probably a lot like what it does right now. So because I have to hold back, I only bought one record yesterday. There were several I wanted. Grapefruit is a killer store. Selection-wise, they are kicking everybody else in the ass for my taste right now. And I love Homer's. I love the people at Homer's. I love Stewart at Recycled. I don't know the young people at Drastic. You know, their turnover is so... I never know who's in there anymore. So, Grapefruit is the shit. Because none of the other stores will get in a copy of this. And this is what I'm looking for. This is exactly what I'm looking for. This is Midori Takada with Masahiko Satoh. Lunar Cruise. This was released on vinyl for the first time about 5 years ago. Finally, a copy shows up in Omaha. I snatched this up when I saw it so fast. This is just gloriously beautiful. And Hiromi Hosono, my man, is on bass, notably on a couple tracks. Notable what he does on bass, not a typical thing. This is beautiful percussive led pieces. Some are serene and somber. Some other pieces are very exciting and very loud. Beautiful, beautiful album. That's what, yeah. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show what else is sitting down here and just talk about it until I'm done, okay? Suicide. Do you all know this album? This album is classic, and I did buy it when it first came out. I didn't keep it. I wish I had. I got turned on to this when it first came out by my friend Wes Van Ness, who turned me on to a lot of amazing obscure music. His collection was to die for. He had to sell it years ago to after he got married, and he married into a family, had to feed them kids, sold those records. This Frankie Teardrop, that's a must hear. If you want to hear some of the most iconic, one-of-a-kind things that have ever been recorded by mankind, that's a hell of a thing for me to say, but once you hear Frankie Teardrop, you know what I'm talking about. Alan Vega and Martin Rev. When Alan Vega gets to the point where he does the scream, you'll remember that. You will remember that. Got into some Ultravox last night. I like the original Ultravox with John Fox, but I also like the mid-jury. And I love this album, Rage in Eden. The Thin Wall, Accent on Youth, The Ascent. Love this album. Love it. Another album. See, for me, it's not about how old I am in relation to the music. It's how it makes me feel and what I get from it on the inside. Which is why I can still listen to music by people who are much younger than me and older than me and relate to it. Ride, who came out in the 90s, I was all over this. And this album, Nowhere, this is just incredibly powerful. I love that cover too, Nowhere. This is one where I'll try to play one song. The song Paralyzed popped into my head, and so I said I got to play it. Well, once I put the album on it, playing both sides, this is so good. I'll share a memory. On their first round, when Ride came to America for the first time, with Slow Dive, I got to see them in concert, and it was excellent. Both bands, Ride were more powerful as a band, but Slow Dive had a presence. And afterwards, I partied with them for over an hour. Both bands. Ride were very nice. Mark, he was so nice to me. I have their autographs. And he pulled me in. I like this. Now, this is one thing, an observation I think I have, because race figures into my whole perspective, and in ways that I think that some people who are not black can't understand. As it was happening, I remember this. I clearly remember this. As this was happening, Mark was making an extra effort to make me feel welcome. I was the only black person in the whole fucking building, okay? And I appreciate that when it's sincere, and I can tell the difference, okay? That really touched me, and I'll never forget that. Hanging out with Slow Dive was similar. What's her name? The singer, and then the main guy, Neil. They were still giddy over having worked with Eno, and were really happy to just go on about it. So there's one for you. Here's something I picked up at Grapefruit months ago, where I didn't know about this album. And when I saw it, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to know about this. Tully, Sea of Joy, out of Australia. Something in the 70s. Some soundtrack. This is gorgeous. This is just what I like. Oh, man. You can look all this stuff up and listen to it online, okay? People have lamented that they wish that I could play this stuff for them. I wish I could too, but just I've shown it to you now. You can go and click and listen to this on YouTube right now. This is beautiful. I had been wanting an album by this band forever because of their covers, and I finally got one about a year ago. Skin Alley, English band, $2 deal. There's some progressive aspects, and then there's just jam band aspects. I like this album, and I'd like to find their other albums on vinyl. I have them on CDR Burn. I like the covers too on all their albums. Cool covers. What else? Here's one I hadn't played in a long time. They have an early collectible album which people show off online. It's like, you guys aren't listening to that record. I played this album, listened to it a while because it's heavy and it's not light listening. Emerald Web, Catspaw. It might strike you that it's going to be something kind of, new agey. It's not. This is really electronic and cool. And in parts it's very dark. Emerald Web. Emerald Web. That's what I got. Okay. That's about where it's at. What's on my agenda today? Well, we have a wind advisory here in Nebraska where they're saying that this afternoon we could be getting really strong winds, 65, 75 mile per hour perhaps. The weather forecast was so dire that for the first time in my recollection they were closing schools. They closed some schools here in Omaha, worried about the wind. And we still have bitches saying that they can't, that they don't think there's anything to the idea that climate is changing or has changed. Fuck that. All right. So, getting a message from RAF, I'm kicking the guys in the ass. It's like, we've got to get this album done, and I'm telling them, it's like, I'd like to see the album done before I'm dead, because when I die, I'm dead, I'm gone. I don't know what's going on, I'm gone. So I'm getting some messages and a slight bit of irritation, but I need to kick some people in the ass. Let's get this shit done. Okay? As I say all the time, excuse me, I do appreciate hearing from you and hearing your thoughts and you sharing things with me. And I read them. And I delete the ones where people are, like I explained earlier, folks who were showing their ass to me. I delete that stuff. It's real obvious to me. People will come over here and try to word things. They try to figure out ways to say things where they give me a dig. And thankfully I always see through it. I say, oh, you're showing your ass. You're showing what kind of shitty person you are to me. And you want to blame it on me? Why are you aiming it at me? I ain't done nothing to you. Bitch. See what I'm saying? I got nothing but love for people. So why the hate? Why the separation? Why the division? Why are you allowing politics to make you all crazy and stupid? Why? I don't understand it.